The upcoming episode of Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch, titled The Flooded Tunnel, promises to deliver excitement and intrigue. In this episode, Chad takes a daring dive into an underwater passage that could lead to significant discoveries. This passage is believed to connect directly to the elusive Keyhole Chamber, a location that has been a focal point of mystery for the team. Chad's dive will not only test his skills, but may also bring to light secrets hidden beneath the water. Meanwhile, Eric returns with findings from a meteorite site that bears similarities to what the team has encountered at Blind Frog Ranch. His discoveries could provide important clues and insights into the strange phenomena that have been reported in the area. The connection between the meteorite site and the ranch may open up new avenues for exploration and understanding. As the team delves deeper into their investigations, an unexpected twist arises. An intruder appears on the ranch, removing a mysterious piece of equipment. This intrusion adds an element of tension and raises questions about the safety of the team's work and the secrets they are trying to uncover. The combination of Chad's underwater exploration, Eric's findings, and the looming threat of an intruder sets the stage for a thrilling episode. Fans of Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch can look forward to an action-packed episode filled with discoveries, challenges, and unexpected turns. The flooded tunnel is sure to keep viewers on the edge of their seats as the team navigates the mysteries that lie ahead. The high desert of northeastern Utah remained silent under a heavy morning sky, its winds biting and dry as the first episode of Season 5 opened. The sprawling, enigmatic lands of Blind Frog Ranch looked more guarded than ever. After a 2-year hiatus, the team had returned, weathered, more cautious, and now driven by whispers too compelling to ignore. But this time, it wasn't just gold or Aztec treasure drawing them back. It was something older, something beneath the earth that didn't want to be disturbed. As the drone camera swept over the familiar ridges, pines, and muddy cuts of the ranch, it zoomed in on a particular section, one that had remained off-limits due to natural flooding in previous seasons. The tunnel, buried and sealed for decades, if not centuries. Now, with new satellite imaging, the tunnel's entrance had been confirmed to stretch far deeper than any of the crew expected. The 2023 spring runoff had not just flooded it, it had revealed it. Dwayne Ollinger stood at the mouth of the tunnel, not with the usual anticipation of discovery, but with a weight pressing on him, an unease that made the desert feel colder than it should. Behind him, the team gathered. Chad, his son, had returned with new sonar tech. Charlie, the local expert, brought updated geological surveys. Jamie, the new addition, a diver and former military engineer, was recruited for one reason: to go where no one else could. The team descended into the ravine. What was once a collapsed shaft had opened up into a chasm after a landslide the year before. Inside, the stench of wet rock and something metallic filled the air. The crew's lights caught glints in the darkness, rails, as if part of an old mining operation, extended deep into the tunnel's belly. But there were no records of any mining this far back. Not from the Utes, not from Spanish expeditions. Nothing matched the timeline. They moved carefully, mapping each step. The water was knee-high, then waist-deep. Jamie prepped his diving rig as the sonar returned jagged images, voids in the rock wall, as if chambers had been carved out and sealed. One of them, the largest, pulsed strangely on the equipment, as though it were breathing. The first anomaly came in the form of a steel cable, coiled around a stone pillar submerged in the tunnel's base. It wasn't rusted. It wasn't old. Someone had been here recently, within the last year. Yet none of the locals knew of any recent expeditions. No permits had been issued. No signs of trespass found in previous sweeps. Dwayne's worry deepened. If someone else had entered before them, why hadn't they made it out? As Jamie prepared to dive into a side chamber visible only through the scanner's echo, the episode's tension escalated. The water was freezing, unnatural even for Utah's high-altitude reservoirs. He submerged slowly, descending into a void that stretched 60 feet beneath the known tunnel. A carved corridor opened at the bottom, flanked with strange symbols etched into the rock. Cameras caught brief glimpses, spirals, crosses, what looked like ancient Sumerian script, completely out of place. And then, the footage cut, static. Back above, the team lost radio contact. 3 minutes passed, then 5. A muffled thud echoed from within the stone walls. Panic rose. Just as Duane prepared to enter the water himself, Jamie's light pierced the black and his helmet emerged. Shaken, short of breath, object, an obsidian disc, marked with carvings too precise for ancient tools. Later that night, in the on-site lab, the disc underwent preliminary tests. It wasn't obsidian. It was some hybrid, volcanic glass fused with a metal alloy unknown to modern metallurgy. The markings were shallow but deliberate. They aligned with stellar coordinates, a celestial map, focused not on the present sky, but the sky as it had looked thousands of years ago. The mystery of Blind Frog Ranch had taken a darker turn. The episode's midpoint brought a shift in tone. As the team attempted to map more of the submerged section, the tunnel responded. Vibrations echoed through the floor, slight at first, then shaking dust from the rock ceiling. Jamie, reviewing his dive footage, froze the frame on a shadow at the edge of his camera. It wasn't a natural formation. It was a statue, or a figure, standing motionless, carved into the chamber's wall. Human-shaped. Watching. But the most startling revelation came near the episode's end. Satellite scans from an independent geology team revealed something buried even deeper beneath the ranch -90 meters below the tunnel floor. A geometric structure, hexagonal in shape, symmetrical, and massive. Not natural. Not a cave. Not a fault. The team's skepticism cracked. If true, they weren't just dealing with buried treasure. They were standing above a lost structure. Possibly a buried temple or vault. One that had survived epochs. And that had been intentionally hidden. Chad pushed for drilling. A core sample from above. Charlie warned of seismic instability. But Duane made the call. If they were going to finally unravel the secret of Blind Frog Ranch, it would begin now. The last 5 minutes of the episode, built with rising music and fast cuts, cables being winched, the drill rumbling to life, instruments blaring. As the drill bored downward, the core sample pulled up showed signs of construction, mortar, ancient but still cohesive. It had once been sealed from the inside. Then, the drill bit shattered. Something beneath resisted. The team stared at the mangled tool. The metal had been bent, folded like paper. Something below didn't want to be reached. As the camera panned out from the shaken crew, a storm gathered on the horizon, lightning flashing behind the ridgelines. The tunnel, now partially mapped, seemed to breathe with each gust of wind, an ancient lung exhaling secrets long buried. The screen faded to black with one final shot. The obsidian disc under ultraviolet light, glowing faintly. Its edges, once dull, now shimmered with blue. The season opened under a blanket of storm-heavy skies, where thunder rolled low over the Uinta Basin. Winds whispered through pines lining the barren ridgelines of Blind Frog Ranch. The camera swept low over the familiar terrain, rugged, remote, and holding its secrets close. 2 years had passed since the crew last stepped foot here. Now the land seemed changed. Restless. From above, A jagged scar cut through the property, new erosion from recent flash floods. Deep within that scar, hidden under centuries of silt and stone, lay something the maps had never shown. The tunnel. The episode shifted into motion with the return of Duane Ollinger, his expression tight, scanning the entrance as if staring into the unknown. Where before had been collapsed rubble, the earth had given way to reveal something older, an arched passageway carved with unsettling precision. As the crew assembled, unease rippled beneath their usual resolve. There had always been danger at Blind Frog Ranch, but this felt different. Heavy rains from the previous season had flushed out sediment and exposed a black stone entrance sealed with a rusted gate. Behind it, the tunnel sloped downward into still, murky water. Equipment was lowered. Lights flickered. A camera drone buzzed quietly across the threshold. Inside, the tunnel was not random. It was engineered. The walls bore angular carvings, etched into stone that shimmered faintly when the lights hit. Ancient symbols, possibly Aztec or something even older, appeared in repeating sequences. The water was waist-deep and freezing, the temperature far lower than the surrounding soil should allow.